Hi, my name is Faith and I'm a Survivor Faithful, and today I'm going to be talking about episode 3 of season 48. As I always say, this is just going to be me sharing my thoughts and opinions, but if you have not watched the episode, there will be spoilers ahead, so I would not continue the video. Let's get right into it. The first thing I want to say that I noticed within the first seconds of this episode is that I just love Mary's attitude. I think that thus far, she has made a positive light out of a difficult situation. She has continued to be on the bottom of her tribe and continues to fight, and then at the end of the day, she's like, you know what? I can only do what I can do, and I respect that. Along the same lines, I love that Mary went right away to find the idol, and Say chasing Mary was just insane. I know that people have followed people when they're looking for idols in other seasons, but the way that Say was chasing her actually had me laughing out loud. I personally don't understand following somebody. I feel like you would just be better off looking for the idol yourself, because what are you going to do if you're following somebody the entire time and then they find it and you're just standing there when they find it? It's like, well, you didn't stop them from finding it, you just know that they have it. So really, what benefit is it to you? I just feel like if I was in the game, I knew there was an idol out there, I knew that I didn't have it, I'd be looking for it myself. Then we hop to the other tribe, and we're seeing a little bit of insight on Eva, where she's talking about how she kind of wants to get in with Star. She wants to see where she's at, she wants to talk strategy. So she goes to Star to basically see if she can trust her. She wants to know, is she going to tell me that she has this advantage? And Star ultimately lying to her and then telling Thomas and Bianca about it. I was like, no, I was so upset. Honestly, I probably would have done the same thing if I was in Star's position. I just more so hated it for Eva because I feel like she's someone who I'm really rooting for, and I hated to see a bad look on her part. I definitely feel like if Thomas given the chance would take Star over Eva. But with that being said, we know that next week there's going to be a tribe swap. So at the end of the day, a lot of these things won't really matter, hopefully. Something else that really cracked me up about this recent episode is in the challenge, watching Joe navigate the entire thing blindfolded the way he did. He just right off the rip just ran through that obstacle course blindfold on. I was like, who does that? Then we get to the journey, and I think this is one of my favorite ones that we've ever seen. I genuinely got chills when they all basically realized that there was nothing they could really do to save themselves. This was just pure luck. I think after every person went and got their fate, I was just gasping like, oh man, especially when Justin lost his vote. I'm like, that is the one situation where you do not want to go on a journey. I feel like when I watch these, I'm always in the mindset of course you want to go on the journey, but I've never really thought about it when you're in Justin's position, and it's like, well, I have to vote tonight and I need my vote, so I can't be at risk to lose it. So you wouldn't want to be in that position. Something else it made me think of is if I was in that position and I was going on a journey, would I want it to be a challenge or would I want it to come down to luck? And I would love to know what your thoughts are. I thought about it for a while. Part of me almost wishes that it would be down to luck. I feel like if I did a challenge, I messed up and I lost my vote, I feel like that would replay in my head over and over again, like I should have done this, I could have done that better. But when it comes down to luck, it really is just that. There is nothing you can do to save yourself. Another thing I love about the journeys is I always love to see when they come back to their tribe, whether they lie about it or not. We clearly have seen two very different approaches where one tribe is being completely honest. They're telling their whole tribe, this is what happened, this is what I got. And then you have another tribe who's just lying about it. I felt so bad for Bianca when she told Thomas about going on the journey and Thomas didn't tell her when he went and got an advantage. This is just the stuff you watch as a viewer and you're like, ugh, I really wish you didn't tell somebody, like, why can't you keep it a secret? But I know it would be so hard when you're in the game to keep that to yourself. Then we get to tribal council, and it comes down to what I thought was gonna be a Mary versus Say showdown. And that's what it was in the beginning. It was so entertaining to watch them go at each other. And I personally, again, just love Mary's attitude of like, It is what it is. I'm just gonna do my best, and it just comes down to whatever it comes down to. Mary knew she was on the bottom. She gave up her vote so she could do the shot in the dark, and she was safe. When I tell you, I was screaming when that scroll said she was safe. I feel like it's been a while since we've seen the shot in the dark work, and when it does, it is just, it's too good. I mean, I will never forget when Caleb played a shot in the dark and he was safe and the entire tribe voted for him. Now, yes, he went home the next week, but still, it was crazy in the moment. Not only was Mary being safe crazy, but Justin lost his vote. So it literally just came down to Cedric and Say, and they had to do a revote. Not only did they do one revote, but I'm pretty sure they did two. And honestly, at that point, I had to rewind it 2 or 3 times because I was getting super confused, because I was like, why are we continuing to revote when it's just 2 people and they're voting for the same people? I guess the idea behind it was to just see if someone was gonna change their vote or if they were gonna eventually agree on the same person. I was getting really lost at this point, but it did eventually come to, for the first time in Survivor history, it literally came down to Cedric deciding who was gonna go home. I was just sitting there and I was just like shocked. It was insane. And I, right off the rip, was like, Say is done. But Justin gave up. And I stand by that. I've seen everybody so mad at Cedric for keeping Say, and they were asking, why would he do that? Why would you keep Say? You should have got rid of her when you had the chance. I honestly don't blame him. I blame Justin. And it is a pet peeve of mine when someone asks a contestant, what do you think? And they just say, do whatever you have to do whatever you want to do. And I understand they're trying to be respectful and not seem pushy, but I just don't think that works in this show. It was the most unconvincing speech I've ever seen. Maybe Justin thought like, oh, he's gonna keep me and we're friends. But you could tell Cedric was kind of like, well, he doesn't mind, then I'm gonna keep Say. So ultimately, Cedric chose Say on the condition that her and Mary don't beef anymore. Honestly, I think they're still gonna beef. Again, it won't even matter because there's a tribe swap next week. So unless all 3 of them are on the same tribe, it doesn't even matter. But this was just an insane episode. And I knew something was up because in like the first few minutes of the show, I kept thinking like, this seems kind of rushed. And the challenge happened right away. And I kept thinking like, I feel like we're going through this really fast. So when all this started happening at the end, I was like, that's why. I couldn't believe it. I'm really looking forward to the tribe swap next week to see what new alliances might form. But let me know what your thoughts are. I feel like there's so many things we could get into with this episode, but let me know what you thought of the journey, whether or not Cedric should have kept Say or Justin. Tell me what you all think. And I will definitely be watching the next episode and sharing my thoughts with you all. So stay tuned.